now let's go ahead and get our practice going. Let go of all of that other stuff. And I'd like you to start seated today. So you can start either Sukhasana with legs crossed at the ankles or the shins, or you can sit kneeling like I am. Option, use a prop beneath you. Begin to lift up through the crown, lift up through the rib cage, lift up through the shoulders, and then glide them down and back. Pull the belly in. Hands towards the thighs, towards the legs or knees. Palms up or down, yogi's choice. A slight tuck of the chin and then draw back. Let the eyes close. And then just begin to breathe. Breathing more intentionally. You've been breathing this whole time, but now we're really beginning to focus on it. And notice what kind of energy you brought onto your mat today. Any irritations, any frustrations, excitement. If you're not quite sure what to label it, that's okay, just be with it. As it is, not trying to change it. There's going to be plenty of time for that later. Begin lengthening your breath now. So inhaling longer, smoother air. Then exhaling slowly like the air is escaping from the body. Inhaling, growing taller through the crown, feeling perhaps the crown open up. Exhale, rooting down through the pelvis. The pelvis is heavy, but the crown stays open and lifted. Belly stays pulled in. Collarbones stay wide. Continuing this with each breath. Letting there be an expansion, growth, and space on the inhale. And then keeping that space and expansion, rooting down, finding stability on the exhale. And all the while, just watching the mind. What kind of thoughts are floating by? Noticing if your thoughts or your mood is affected by something like temperature, by restrictions that we have, by thoughts of food, TV shows, anything at all. Let these distractions be part of what we talked about yesterday if you were in class. We went through this fun story about Shiva and how he stood on this little dwarf demon. And that dwarf demon was all of our daily struggles, our dramas, things that bother us and kind of ruffle our feathers. So bringing that into the practice, noticing what's ruffling your feathers today. And then trying to figure out an intention. You can use those things to stand on, to get higher perspective, higher vantage point, to look out and see a bigger picture. Invite in feelings of strength, welcoming movement. And perhaps you're missing the studio today. I've been missing it a lot personally. It's really great to be back, but I miss all of you here with me. The Shakti of the room, the energy of the room is different without you. So try and invite in that Shakti, that group energy, that vibe that we can all build together into your space. And we're going to do that by breathing together. So exhale completely. Let's start our breath cycle together. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue counting and breathing in this way, imagining each and every person who's in the class in their own home. And those roots that we grew, that were growing with our exhale down through our mat, imagine them growing down through the floor, through the soil, and then traveling across distance, finding their way to each other so that we can all connect, and all become one organism, one being, one big tree or plant that's practicing together today. Letting this bring a softness to the face, happiness to the heart that we still have community. Last inhale for 4. Last exhale for 4. And whichever way you're seated, begin rolling through the wrists. Perhaps just bending and flexing. Moving through the fingers, either inviting in sort of a watery or windy-like element. Getting the arms involved. If your camera's on, I'm not judging you. My camera's on, so you can't judge me. But get weird, get moving. Invite in either water or wind, that vayu, and just begin moving through the body using the muscles and also momentum. Not speed, but control. So perhaps you begin to draw big circles through the chest, using the arms to continue those circles. You can think of this as your cat-cow time if you're really traditional and you have to have some cat-cows in your practice. Do these seated, or you can be more free form. Taking some side bends. We're going to need those in the practice. And we're also going to have an open heart, a strong core, and stable shoulders. So thinking about that, how can we involve those pieces of our body as we begin to open up and warm up here? A couple more breaths. Just moving in a way that feels good for you. Good. Inhale, come up onto the knees. So if you have tender knees, if your knees talk to you or scream at you when you're on them, go ahead and place a blanket or something soft under the knees. Inhale, reach up high, gaze high, hands to heart. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up and arms to a T, looking towards the left. And then beginning to hinge, so feeling a stretch through the right side of the body as the left side comes down, perhaps extending that right leg long. Modified side plank. Open through the chest. Squeeze through the buns. Perhaps look at the hand that's floating. If that's too much on the neck, look at the hand that's supporting you. Pushing into the floor. Beginning to find our way back up. Gate pose. Good. Good. Meeting back in that kneeling stance. Inhaling, reaching up. Hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Grow tall in all areas. Exhale, root down through the legs as you exhale. Keep the height. Inhale, reach up. We're going to begin to place the right hand down. Feel the left side body open up. And as you need to, you can place hand on the block or just find some movement so that left leg can extend and find that modified side plank. Pulling back through the left shoulder, pulling back through the right shoulder blade behind you. Opening through the chest, squeezing through the glutes. Movement if you still need some extra movement. Pressing down through the legs, using the belly, the core to rise back up, arms to a T. And then gate pose. Again, feeling a stretch on the right side of the body this time. Gazes up or down or neutral. Back up, back to kneeling. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart. Now we're not going to take a deep bend here and get real lordotic. We're lifting the heart and just opening through the heart space. and round. Hollow the front of the body. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Sit down on the heels, child's pose. Then we're going to turn on our mats so that we're facing the top of our mat now. But you can stay where you are if you'd like. You're in a child's pose here. Roll through the wrists, rock through the hips, tuck through the toes even, and push into the hands, stretching the bottoms of the feet. For a little extra toe stretch here, you can push into the hands, lift the knees, stretch through the Achilles. Do the same thing by, again, letting the tops of the feet be down and then bringing hands by the knees, pushing and lifting the knees up and really stretching the front of the feet. And need all of this good foot stretching for some balance. Good. Coming back, finding our table, moving any way you need to move, whether that's your traditional cat-cows that you just can't seem to get away from. But when you're ready, find your plank pose. Legs extended long, core cinching in, collarbones wide, wide upper back, and then grip into your mat so that your fingernails get sort of that white tip to them. And then pull your hands apart from each other, pull your feet apart from each other. Now pull your hands and feet apart from each other. Feel the entire body work. Breathing in, breathing out. Building heat. Steady the breath. Ujjayi pranayama, if that's in your practice. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. I guess I could say exhaling. That nice oceanic sound, if not just breathing in and out, guys. Inhale, drop the knees, drop the chest, drop the chin. Look forward, lift up through the tailbone more, pull the belly in. Pull the hands back as you slide the heart forward and find a low cobra. Back of the neck is long, tops of the feet press down. Float the hands. Can you lift a little higher with your cobra hood? Maybe you like it, huh? Listen to her. So hands come like you are trying to put your hands behind your head and imagine a cobra hood opening up because it's gonna get you. And lift a little higher. Squeeze the buns, press into the feet, lift the heart. Work the back body. And lower, hands planked, tuck the toes, and you can either press up through table or you can lift the belly button away from the floor now, hug the elbows in, and early on, press up through plank, down dog. First down dog, pedal it out. It's good to know that Erin still enjoys my jokes. Good. And then cross the right ankle behind the left, and then lean the hips towards the left. Press into the right hand. Pull the belly in. Drop the crown of the head. Switching to the other side, planting the right foot, crossing the left foot behind, dropping the hips to the right, pressing into the left hand. Something similar, come back up through center, bend the knees deeply, lift the hips high, lift the heels, drop both heels to the left, keep the shoulders where they are, but push extra hard into the hands. So you're really pushing the chest towards the thighs as they twist. Back up through center, keep the bend, keep the pull in of the belly, heels drop to the right. Push into the hands. Back through center. Now we've got deeply bent knees like you're trying to push your chest towards your thighs. We're lifting the heels. We're pushing the top part of the mat away. Keep all of this action, widen the upper back, and then begin to pull the heels down. The legs may begin to straighten. Listen to the body. Keep the lift of the tailbone. Look forward. Weight into the hands. Keep all of your weight pouring forward. Pull the belly in as you begin to tiptoe, keeping light on the feet, heavy on the hands. You can bend the elbows. You can bend the knees as much as you need to make this happen. Maybe you can even begin to lift one foot a little higher as you step. A little higher. A little higher until you're at your fold. And then enjoy your fold. Bent knees to start. Starting in a pretty deep fold here. So both knees are bent. Notice the stretch of the low back, the glutes. Feel the hamstring attachment even with your hands. Go ahead and take your fingertips there. That's a marma point. Massage it. You're going to feel right this strange indent where if you push kind of hard, your body goes zing. Massage that. And then massage and pull the muscles down to behind the knee through the calf and back up. Stimulating all of the fascia there, letting it know it's safe. We're not going to overdo anything. We're honoring ahimsa, honoring our bodies. We are not going to hurt ourselves today. Then drop the hands to the floor, pull the belly in, lift the low rib cage away from the hips, kind of like an unhinging as you inhale and half lift forward, flat back. Chest pulls away from the thighs. Exhale to fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Now, bend the knees so that your chest is towards the thighs. Look forward, hands to heart. Keep the hips low, lift the heart high. Pausing here. Utkatasana. Imagine now that you've seen these magical bands around your calves and you're pulling, you're abducting the knees away from each other. Feel the glutes fire up, but then squeeze the glutes towards each other. Booty burn, booty burn, booty burn. You can move if you need to. Distract yourself. Get a little bit lower. A little bit lower. Do you feel burning? Yeah, a little bit lower. Lift the chest, a little bit lower. Reach the arms. Sink all the way down. Boat pose. Notice here what your boat needs to look like. Lift through the heart. You can have hands down, feet lifted or feet down. Feel the abs catch. We want work. You can also keep the hands down, lift the feet. You can grab behind the legs. You can reach or you can extend. Lower, tap the right heel down, lift it up. Tap the left. Right, left, right, left. Low boat, hollow body shape. Hug everything in towards the center. Open it up and close. Open, close. One more open. Close. High boat. Cross at the ankles. Pull the heels towards the glutes. Hands plant. Step it back to plank pose. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. Just getting warmed up here. Inhale. Lift the right leg. Bend the knee. Open through the hip. Notice what you're feeling, if there's any residual tightness or soreness from workouts or practicing. And then stir that around, either energetically or physically by moving through the hip and straight through the leg. And then set the right foot down. Other side, lift the left leg. Reach, 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 get nice and long. Bend the knee, open the hip. Same thing here. Stir it around. Can tuck that heel towards the right glute a little more. Try to stack the hips. Push into the hands. Really feel expansion and stretch through the thorax, through your thorax as if you were an insect. Torso. Now straighten the leg and step the foot down. Look forward. You can tiptoe the same way we did before, or you can float forward, hop forward, whatever you'd like. Inhaling Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chest the thighs, look forward, keep the hips still, hands to heart. Lower, but push into the feet. Lift through the heart. Imagine your hand is on your head. You're trying to push your head into your hand. Pull the shins apart from each other. Squeeze the butt towards each other. Pull the belly in. It's work. Push down to rise up. Let it feel good. Exhale, fold forward. Release. Pedal out the knees. Moving through vinyasa. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Knees, chest, chin down. Again, slither forward like a snake. And then lift the arms. Cobra hood, or just floating, or even find your locust. Staying here for an extra breath or two. Finding the spinal extensor muscles, really working to lift the chest. Squeeze the legs towards each other, squeeze the pinkies towards each other. Inhale, exhale, lower. Plant the hands, press up, table or plank. Downward facing dog. Take a break when you need to. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. Lift up the left heel. Press into the left hand. And begin to straighten through the right leg. We're going to roll onto the left foot, the side of the foot. Rock the shoulder over the wrist and find the side plank. Option to modify here. You can stay with the leg lifted. You can cross it behind. Or if you're looking for a modified side plank today, step the foot in front and push down through the right foot. Feel the work. Open through the chest. Really open through the chest. And hand down. Leg back up. Knee to nose, cheetah. Send it back. Right knee, left elbow. If you can, find connection there. And then we're going to extend that leg. Feel free to drop the foot down. Again, reaching up now through the left arm. Opening through the chest. Movement through that left arm if that would feel good. Left hand down. Right knee to chest first, cheetah. Send it back, three-leg dog. Vinyasa here. Option to keep that leg lifted. Coming forward, plank. Lowering down halfway. Pressing into the hands to lift the heart. And then lifting the hips, lifting the leg, three-leg dog. Open the hip. Close the hips, set the foot down. Paddle out through the heels. Inhale, lift the left leg. Bend the knee, open the hip. Begin straightening through the left leg as you lift the right heel. Pushing into the right hand. Rock onto the side edge of the right foot. Right shoulder stacks over right wrist. And then begin peeling the chest open, finding your side plank, whatever that is. Stepping a little behind, stepping in front, maybe stacking the feet. Yogi's choice, feel strong here. Hug muscle to bone. And balance our vata. It's cold out. It is hot in here. Left hand down, reach the leg up. You're welcome to go turn the heat off if you'd like, Erin. Knee to nose, cheetah. We are doing hot yoga today. Send it back. Left knee, right elbow, press it under the body, and then extend the leg. Reach the right arm up, and then open through the chest. Circle through the arm if you'd like, let it feel good. Squeeze the glutes, they're always working, helping to support a nice, strong back. Hand down, knee to chest, cheetah, send it back, three-leg dog. Foot down, knees down. Oh, vinyasa, thank you. Well, if you need to skip that vinyasa, that's always an option. Now go ahead and drop the knees down. Child's pose or hero's pose. Another option to invert here if that's something that helps find more balance for you. I find a lot of times that when we're taking a rest pose like this, I like to get upside down. So if you'd like to find your inversion, this is a good time to find your inversion. Maybe just lifting one leg at a time, doing some drills, building some strength. Otherwise, staying seated or staying in that restful child's pose. Rolling through the wrists, rocking through the hips, rocking through the forehead. If you've taken flight, slowly beginning to land. Meeting in child's pose. Thread the right arm under the space of the left armpit. Right shoulder, right temple come down. Not here for long, switch sides. Right arm extends forward, left arm threads under. Good. Child's pose. Reach, come up, tabletop. Keep the hips stacked over the knees. Walk the hands forward, puppy pose. Heart down. Depending on how deep your puppy pose is, you have the option to tuck the toes and straight through the legs, pulling the belly in. Or if you need less, you can find the block and place support under the forehead or under the chest, finding a less intense puppy pose. Find the one that's right for you. Now slither forward. I love saying slither. Come into your Sphinx pose. Lift through the heart. Pull the shoulders away from each other in front of you, shoulder blades together behind you. Spread the fingers, grip into the mat. Pull the elbows back towards the hips. Lift the heart. Pull the forearms away from each other. And now keep pulling the elbows forward so much you feel your pubic bone begin to come forward on the mat. Lift the heart more. Tuck the chin if you've lifted the gaze skyward. Tuck the toes. Lift the kneecaps. Begin to corset in at the waist and roll the pelvis up, forearm plank. Creating more heat here. Dropping the heels towards the left. And through center. And right. Center. Left. Center. Right. With your breath, that may mean slowing down the movement, slowing down the breath. Let the breath initiate the movement, not the opposite way around. Come back to center. Walk the toes in, push into the arms, dolphin pose. You can have your knees as bent as you need to. Keep pushing the floor away from you with the forearms. Love space and strength in the shoulder girdle. option here, lift the right leg. And then come up onto the tippy toes of the left foot, maybe a little pinch of hops. Maybe just little teeny tiny hops, never actually taking a pinch of. And then switching sides, left leg up. Lift up the right heel again, little hops, maybe just an inch. Maybe an entire pinch, your choice. Puppy pose, walk the feet back. Forearm plank. Now, we're gonna really root down through the left forearm, rock onto the side of the left foot, lift up the right arm. There we go, forearm side plank. Other side, right forearm down, left arm lifts. Moving towards our full side plank, left hand down, right arm lifts. Right hand down, left arm lifts. Left hand down, hips up and back, down dog. Pedal out if you need to. Let the backs of your legs feel open. Let them trust you. Inhale, lift the right leg. Bend the knee and open the hip. Now, allow your chest to poke under the space of your right armpit. As you begin to find yourself in sort of a side plank wild thing, begin floating the right hand up. And what we want to do is keep that right foot from touching. So we're squeezing the heel towards the glute. We're opening the chest, reaching the hand behind us like we're reaching for that foot. We're going to do a dance here, okay? So we're reaching, right hand down, left foot stays planted but rotates, right hand down, right foot reaches, and now arch the back. Left hand down, reach the leg back, step it forward. High crescent lunge. Settle in here. You can open through the chest a little more, get a deeper back bend. If you need a twist, take a twist. Your time to listen to your body. Plant the hands. Now we're gonna hop switch. So we're gonna really use the force of our legs. We're gonna hop the left foot forward, the right foot back. Hop switch. Do it again, hop switch. Again, hop switch. Send the left leg all the way up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Again, rocking onto the side edge of that right foot. Finding sort of a side plank as we arch through the back. Curl the heel towards the glute and reach with the fingertips like you're trying to grab your toes behind you. The back body's working so hard. You're so close there and you're basically touching. Left hand down, right arm lifts as that left leg now extends forward. Open up through the front of the body, finding balance. Front opens, back opens. Left hand down, three leg down, step it forward. High crescent lunge. Stable through the legs, reaching through the arms. Reach so high that you feel your shoulder blades reach up on the rib cage. Drop the right knee down. Hands come down straight through the left leg. Ardha Hanumanasana. You can pulse back and forth, leaning into the pelvis, even bringing that right knee back, inching the left forward. Keep the heart lifted. And then letting the hands come back under the shoulders, and again, straightening the left leg. Right hip point forward, left hip crease back. Alternating. If full Hanumanasana is in your practice or sounds intriguing to you, this is a good time. If you have blocks, I would suggest starting with them under the front left thigh. Getting support there, and then lowering if you need to lower. From here, let's take a twist, turn towards the left. Try to get that left hand to the back of your right thigh. Lift up and rotate. Back to center. Arms reach high. Bend at the elbows, squeeze the elbows in. Lift the heart. Hands plant down. Bring the back knee forward, so we're dragging the front heel back a bit, still in that Ardha Hanumanasana. Finding our low runner's lunge. Lift the back knee, hop switch, rise up. Pausing here briefly, just to lower the knee back down. Hands down, Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. Notice what's going on in the body, in the mind. Acknowledging any needs that aren't being met. And taking care of those needs, just like Shiva did. Again, use the things that trouble you to give you a higher platform. To see more, to do more, to find more peace. Working towards your Ananda, your bliss. Coming back and forth, stretching. You can even let that right knee come over the right ankle a bit. It's okay, it's not too weight bearing. We're not there for long. And again, on the side, if you'd like to find your full Hanumanasana, your full split, I would suggest starting with blocks under the right thigh. Sliding the feet apart. For me, it's kind of like an inchworm action. Keeping the hips squared. Left hip bone forward, right hip crease back. And then let's take that twist. Right hand to the back of the left thigh, chest is open. Left hand to the front of the right leg. Gazing maybe over that back foot. Back through center. Reach the arms up. Palms together. Gaze up. Bend at the elbows. Squeeze the biceps towards the ears. Lift the heart. Plant the hands. Working towards that half split. Low lunge. This time, we're going to lift the back knee. If you need to hop it forward a bit, you can. Walk the hands forward and find a standing split. Chest bowing down towards the earth. Use the heel to push up towards the sky. For challenging your balance, you have the option to reach the right hand towards the ankle, then the left. Maybe both, maybe neither. Empty the pelvic bowl, the belly. Create more space for a deeper fold. Ribs to thigh. Good. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Level up the hips. And now keep the left hand planted and reach the right arm up. Again, getting a twist. You need to come up on a block for that left hand or cupcake fingers. You certainly can. Open through the chest as much as you can. Pull in through the belly. Hand comes down. Left foot all the way back. Hop switch. Standing split. Noticing the difference between the two sides, welcoming those differences. Option for that balance challenge. Soft bend in the left knee. Still driving up through the right foot. Hands plant under the shoulders. Standing L, pull the belly in. This time, block under the right hand or cupcake fingers. Keep driving up through the back heel. Peel the chest open towards the left. Hold it longer than you want to. Squeeze muscle to bone. Breathe. Left hand down. Right foot back. Left foot back. Vinyasa option. Any vinyasa that you like. Moving with your breath. Down dog. Good, fun little option here. Isn't it always fun when your instructor says that? Fun little option. It's usually never good. Widen the feet just a bit. Bring the left hand to the center of the mat. And then bring your right hand towards the left leg. My mat is not grippy at all, so this may not work well for me. And now, weight into the left foot, weight into the left hand. Nope, stay where you are, go back. Yep, me too. Now begin taking weight off the right foot and bring the right knee towards the right tricep. And then tuck the heel to the glute. If you fell out of it like me, that's okay. Come back, three leg dog. Right hand to the center. Left hand towards the right calf. Taking the twist. My mat needs a bath. He's not grippy at all. So we're taking that twist. We're pulling the chest through. Let me just begin to take weight off of the left heel until we can use the strength to pull the heel towards the glute as we stay strong through the hand and the foot on the left, on the right side. No wild thing. It's challenging, but it's fun as we keep things going. Okay, inhale, look forward and get forward. Any way you like. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, ragdoll. Step the feet wide. Move the hips from side to side. Oh, I just turned it on. It's a 79. It's been a lot of movement. Cross the arms. Good. Step the right foot all the way back and then rotate, wide leg fold. And then enjoy your fold to rocking forward and back, distributing the weight and the feet in different places. Perhaps left hand under the face, right arm reaching up, taking a twist, really opening up through the twist, circling through the arm, right hand down, left arm lifts. Same thing. And now right hand down. If you'd like to invert, great time to invert. Otherwise, I would suggest finding Malasana from here or just moving the hips side to side. Again, enjoying time in your practice to do what satisfies you. If you're inverted, bring the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Bring the insides of the knees to the triceps, as high up as you can. Then clamp on, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Push weight into the hands. Pull the heels towards the glutes. Push into the hands like reverse chaturanga. And begin to lift up the head. Find your crow pose. Puff up the back. Make adjustments. Pull the belly in and land. Everyone meeting in Malasana. In fact, I'm going to turn my Malasana this way so I'm not just all up in your biz. Whichever way you like, darling. Just taking rest here. I mean, some shifting, some moving. And then sitting all the way down. We're going to take a sage twist. I'm going to give you two different options, two different ways to do this. The traditional way, well, there's two ways. One way is just to cross the legs here and then tuck the bottom heel towards the glute and let the top of the left foot rest on the sole of the right. You can keep that sort of twist, or you can cross the right leg over the left and then pull the right heel towards the glute. So two different options. Either are giving the same result. We're taking a twist, a sage twist. And there's a story about the sage twist I'm going to tell in our yin class. So if you plan on sticking around, you'll get to learn all about the origin of this pose and how it relates to Shiva and what we can all learn, how we can balance our need for knowledge, our pitta side of that, with a more practical side, more compassionate side. Now we'll take our sage twist on the other side, whichever version you've chosen. Letting your chest be as open as you'd like, the spine be as long as you can. Knees are pressing away from the chest. Crown is opening up, it's pulling so far away from the back. Coming back to center. Legs in front of you. Staff pose. Go ahead and find Dandasana, hands by the hips, lifting through the heart. If you need blocks here, you can, or you can cupcake the fingers. Really lift up through the chest, pull the belly in, flex the feet so much the heels hover. 3, 2, 1, and fold forward. Now, if you have a bulging disc problem in your low back, I would not recommend this. Instead, for you, for a hamstring stretch, lay flat on your back, heels up towards the sky, and then pull the backs of the legs towards the chest. Anchor down the sacrum. Keep a neutral space between your lumbar spine so you can slide a hand under. In fact, to remind yourself, you can even roll like a hand towel and place it there. What that's going to keep from doing is laying the low back round too much and aggravate those bulging discs. Pedaling out the feet, moving through the ankles. Again, if you want to get weird, get weird. Never take yourself too seriously. Finding butterfly pose now. If you're seated, soles of the feet together, knees apart. If you're supine like I am, you do it this way as well. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. If you're seated, option to melt forward, round forward. If you're laying down, option to engage the glutes a bit and pull the heels in a bit towards the pelvis. And then use pressure from the hands to help guide the thighs apart. Soften the shoulders, lengthen the neck, broaden the collarbones wherever you are. Come back to the breath. And then close the legs together. If you are seated, I'd like you to get onto your back. If you'd like to move towards or through Navasana, get some more core work, that is your choice. If you're already laying on your back, score, you won. Hug the knees into the chest. Move in circles, from side to side, figure eights, whatever works. And pay attention to the low back on the floor. Massage the sacrum. There's a lot of intersections of fascia in that area as well. So doing this massage is really good for our system. Brings attention to those fibers, helps them fill with more fluid so things can glide around a little better. If you want to do this again for the legs, you can extend the legs up in the air. Find that point where you're going to feel it. So feel your hamstring muscles. And then there's a little indent right before you feel the softness, or I guess if you're a rock star, the firmness of your glutes. There's an indent. And if you push, your body says zing. So right there, massage, press. And then from there, begin working out, expanding out away from that area. Another one is going to be right above the back of the knee to the bottom of the hamstring. You can work there as well. You can bend the knees as you do this. You can keep them straight, just stay at massage. And then now we're going to do another marma point in the bottom of the feet when we find our happy baby. So normally I say grab whatever you can grab. This time I'm really hoping you can grab your feet. If you absolutely cannot, hold on to the ankles, to the shins, and then just massage what you can there. If you can hold on to the feet, let the fingertips come to the sole of the feet, and then press and massage like you're kneading that area. Still try and anchor down through the tailbone. Just triggering our nervous system to say, you are safe. You're allowed to stretch. You're allowed to work the body. You're being held together. Hug the knees close. Pause here for a moment. Notice if there's anything else missing from your practice. If you are a wheeler, you want to do wheel pose, this is a great time. You've been open certainly through those areas, so I would recommend it. If you'd like to do shoulder stand, Sukhasana, or even snail pose, those are options. Otherwise, you can just stay here hugging the knees to the chest. I'm going to demonstrate all of the options that I gave, but feel free to take them or leave them. So for that full wheel, planting the hands down, letting the palms come flat, framing the head, fingertips pointing towards the toes. Hug the elbows in. And we're going to push up like an elevator. No weight on the head. No weight in the cervical spine. So straight up, straight down. If you can't do this without a spot, I'm going to say do bridge pose instead or skip it. So we're pushing into the feet, pushing into the hands. Inhale, rise up. And then drop the crown. Perhaps you can walk the feet in, push the chest forward through the gates of the arms. Engage the glutes, use the back body muscles, those press muscles. 2 more breaths here if you're in your wheel. And then lift the heels, and we're going to lower the same way. Tuck the chin. So again, you come flat on the back. Feet flat on the floor. From here, finding our shoulder stand. You can begin to rock the hips up, find support, elbows plant down like a little tripod stand as you begin to stack the hips, stack the legs, stack the spine. Not moving the head at all in this position. Not left, not right. Drishti is your third eye. Let your eyes close. Grow tall through the toes. To find that halasana, that plow pose I mentioned, you're just going to hinge at the hips. Keep everything engaged. Pull the belly to the front of the spine. Keep the toes pointed so the tops of the feet can find the floor. From here, they can even slide forward a bit if you'd like. And interlace the fingers under you and press the hands, the forearms into the floor. Final option here, snail pose or ear pressure pose. For this, you'll bend through the knees and you're going to frame your ears with the insides of your knees. Three more breaths. Straightening the legs, providing support to the low back, lifting one leg up, then the other. And then we're gonna roll down like we're piking down bit by bit by bit, using the deepest, lowest abdominal muscles. Reach through the feet, flex through the ankles, lift the kneecaps, use the quads even, until you're lying on your back. Get the wiggles out, get the shakes out. Find space between the feet, space between the body and the hands. Say to yourself, I did it. The shoulder blades under you just a little bit more. Allow the heart space to open and the toes to fall out. And allow the breath to be easy so that you can step away from yourself and observe. Notice how the body adapts. Heart rate rises, the breath rate increases when we need it to because of our movements, our efforts. Without adaptation, you couldn't survive. So appreciate that now about your body and about yourself. During this time, we have all had to adapt in hard to imagine ways, but we've all done it. Fill yourself up with gratitude towards yourself and towards the people around you who've made that possible. Allow your body to get heavier and softer. I'm going to leave you in your Shavasana. I'd like you to stay here for as long as you need, as long as you desire. This is the peak pose, guys, Shavasana. The opposite of Shiva is Shava. Shiva is a body full of energy. Shava, the body full of no energy. So take your Shavasana, use it well, fill yourself back up, face the rest of the day with gratitude and happiness.